Hi everybody, Psychology of No, I'm on lesson 15. This is an implementation law. I want to help you to take these and actually implement them. Now, time to do a hard inventory. How many of you have listened to at least one of these videos and done nothing? How many of you have listened to multiple of these videos and still done nothing? Or maybe how many of you have listened to a video or two and maybe for a day or two done something, but it hasn't turned into a permanent change in behavior? I suspect that it's a fair number. Why is that? Well, we are controlled by our habits, whether we like it or not. We can read a book, we can hear a video, we can be inspired in some way, but if we don't change our habits, then we will not see results and we will not change our behavior. Our habits drive us, whether or not we like it or not. So what we need to do is we need to instill positive habits so that the behaviors that we want to happen. So how does that apply to this law? Well, I've been giving you all these things about the psychology of no, why no shouldn't matter, why we should embrace no, why we should turn into a game, all these mindsets. We've got to get these mindsets into a behavior, and that happens through habit. So let me use an analogy for you, okay, because it applies directly here. And the analogy is in long distance running. It's very, very, very unlikely that someone is going to go from having never ran at all to doing a marathon. They're just going to jump up one day and say, I'm doing a marathon today. Okay, I'll see you in 5 or 6 hours. I'm just going to head off on a marathon. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. People, their bodies can't even take it. People have to build up slowly the resistance where they get in a habit of running, and then they do a 5K. Then they do a 10K, then maybe the half marathon, then the marathon, and that takes some time to build up that endurance and that ability inside of you, because otherwise the resistance is really, really strong. The exact same law applies here. You aren't going to go from totally avoiding every uncomfortable situation, totally avoiding every situation where you might hear a no, to all of a sudden jumping on the phone and calling 100 people. It's not going to happen. I already know that. And you can look at yourself and you can say, yeah, he's right. I've heard one of these videos or a couple of these videos, and I haven't really changed my behavior that much. Maybe I got inspired for the moment, but I'm not seeing major changes. So here's how we do it. We have to take a systematic approach to this. This is what I want you to do. Start with one. Start with one. One approach a day. Okay, today, talk to someone who could say no to you. Ask someone to have a party, to host, to join, to buy. One. Then tomorrow, one. Then the next day, one. And let's stick with one until we feel that one is too easy. Then let's move to two. Two, two, two. Until you're feeling, I can do more than this. I'm not concerned about these no's. Then maybe move to 5 or 3 even. We got to slowly build that behavior, fight that resistance, build that endurance. And if you keep doing that, if you stick with one for a while, then 2, then 3, after a certain period of days, you know, the science talks about 21, 30, I've heard 100. I don't think there even really is a settled number of days before things become a pattern, a habit. But there is a certain number of days. And when it hits for you, maybe it's going to be hit at 30, maybe 21, maybe 50. But when that time hits and you're locked into a habit, into a behavior, and no's not affecting you, it's part of your everyday routine, that's when we can start to amp it. That's when we can start to go on these sprints and say, okay, well, I'm going to get on the phone, I'm going to call 20 people right now. You're not going to do that until you build up that endurance. So start with one. If you listen to this video, one today, one tomorrow, one the next day, let's turn this into a habit.